We're streaming live.
We are.
We are IT geniuses.
Welcome.
All right, greetings, Earthlings.
We are Johnita Francis and Trish Rock, your empowerment influencers.
We are. We talk about the no fluff conversations on life, spirituality, freedom, and
spirituality.
I did that one. We talk about a wide range of topics. Yeah.
I'm just getting up the comments here on my phone so we can see who's here.
Beautiful. We're sponsored by Holistic Bliss Magazine. A big shout out to everybody over there and all the great work that you do. And the October edition is out at the moment. So grab that. It is all about money and finances.
It is. Money and finances. Yay! It's very interesting. It's fantastic. So, hey, Nikki. Hey, Janelle. Thank you to everyone who's always here in our live audience. Always fun. You get to see what happens firsthand.
You lucky ducks.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. So I've got to work out how to share my screen. You want to get straight into it? Because we're down to like the last 3 topics.
We are down to the last 3 topics. The Wheel of Wisdom is looking very sparse. And we're nervous because when there's only 3 topics, we know we're going to get one of them.
The odds are not in our favor. Can you see it?
Yes.
Ta-da! All right. Yo, DJ, spin that wheel.
Let's go.
Oh, my money's on purple.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Oh, divination tools, and do we need them in the new age of Aquarius? Oh, this will be a beauty.
Oh, can I pretend that we're just... hang on, wait. Did that work? Internet connection's gone? Oh, my goodness. All right, new age of Aquarius. Actually, I've been secretly looking forward to this topic.
Yeah, me too, I guess. And there may be some people put out with what we have to say, but it is what it is. And we were just talking before about, it is an educational podcast for everybody listening. Thank you for subscribing to the podcast. But we do like to try to teach things, but we also like to just give everyone a different point of view because, we've all got our own minds and our own experiences.
And spirituality is a journey. It's not the destination. It's not all going to the same place.
That's it. So, So what do I think about divination tools? I've really been thinking for the last probably year, actually, that they're not really that necessary anymore. Mostly they're fun. But I mean, ultimately for me, I think that every divination tool is just helping you tune into the messages that you're getting. And I mean, I still use cards, still use my pendulum, and it just helps me tune in. But do I always need them? No. So I was, a beautiful friend of mine started a group up recently, and it's fantastic. She's got an enormous amount of members immediately, and it's all about witchy stuff and runes, and it's really about a lot of divination stuff, and it just didn't resonate with me anymore. But I know that it resonates with a lot of people. They want to know, how do you use runes? How do you, little things like, I mean, if I buy a deck of tarot cards, I just buy it and I use it. Other people have got a whole ritual around it. Go to sleep with it for a night. Do this, do that. I'm like, really? Am I doing it wrong? But here's the thing, it's whatever you feel. It's the same like we were talking last week about the full moon. I don't put my crystals out. I think the energy comes through the walls. But that's just me, and I'm happy with that. And if you don't think that and you want to put your crystals out in the full moon, then do it. It's whatever makes you feel good, isn't it?
Yep, sure is. It's the only thing that comes down to.
Yeah.
Look, I tend to agree. When I was doing fairs and doing the fair circuit, I would always take card with me. And the reason why I did that is because people that sit down with mediums in particular get very nervous and very twitchy. And when they get nervous and twitchy, their mind are nervous and twitchy. And you're there for a small amount of time. We want to maximize your bang for your buck. So I would use the cards as a means of distracting them. But as soon as they see cards, it's a lot less scary, I suppose, than seeing someone sit there and just say, oh, by the way, Uncle Terry says hi, blah, 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 blah. So for me, I used it as a distraction. But I 100% agree with you, because so many people, and I really think the age of Aquarius, the astrology people have been talking about this for such a long time. I think that, and it's got nothing to do with new babies being born, okay? You're either in the frequency of the age of Aquarius or you're not. It's got nothing to do with your age, your birth, bloody starseed or indigo bullshit, all of that, got nothing to do with that. It's your frequency and where your frequency is lying, okay? Or not lying, where your frequency is sitting at. So I think that as more people understand and start trusting spirit and trusting themselves and trusting the things that are coming through, they will be less likely or less desiring to come and grab a tool just to back it up, just to get that extra little bit of confirmation. And you and I can sit there and go, oh, guess what, blah, 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 because we trust what's coming in. So for us, we don't need that extra set of self-doubt, recognition or confirmation, because we just trust the messages. So I think there'll always be a place for the tools, always, because different people are evolving at different rates. So you will always get the people that need that extra little bit of confirmation or support, or it's a great icebreaker if you've got this fantastic set of cards. You chuck them around the table and go, oh, I love that artwork. Bingo, they're already starting to relax.
Yeah, that's it. And I think the trust of the people who are having the readings needs to, well, doesn't need to, nothing needs to happen, but I think that's increasing too. So I know for me, a lot of the people coming to me now, they're just so busy looking for solutions. They don't even give me the opportunity to, they don't care. They're not here. They're not seeing me to really have a reading with the cards. They're here for solutions, but they trust what I say. Whereas there's other people who don't really trust what I say unless they've got a corresponding card to it. It's interesting, isn't it? I really noticed that last week, and even then, Rosie, it's really hot here and I've got the sliding door open.
No one is safe. I will protect the neighborhood.
So she can just hear everything. So, I mean, somebody last week who had a reading with me didn't even want to know what the cards meant because, anyway, that was just a disaster. But, some people either trust it or they don't. And I think the people who are seeking spiritual help are shifting as well. And Nikki Borg says, it's all about intent. It really is. I'm a massive believer in intent and of intent. For many years, I've really not into rituals or anything. I just kind of feel if my intention is that, then why do I need to walk around the table and drink a glass of water upside down while I'm holding a rose quartz, right? Why can't I just intend that to happen? But I know that rituals are very important for a lot of people because they feel good about it. So that's okay too.
It's part of the intent for them.
Yeah.
Well, I have obviously done this witchy stuff for every single lifetime. So I'm basically like, you can shut up, get the hell out of my house. I'm not doing this ritualistic shit. My crystals are too many. I'm not going out to the moon. And here's the holy water. It's just plain water. I'm done. But having said all that, and I can have a joke with it, because if spirit says something, it is gospel. End of story. And I remember doing a reading for a lady who lost a USB, and I said, this is exactly where it is. And she said, no, I don't even have a bag like that. And 3 months later, she said, it's exactly where you said it was, and exactly the same color bag that you said it was. And I forgot all about this bag. And I took it that day, and I'm like, and she said, you're amazing. I said, no, the spirit team knew what was going on. I'm not amazing. I just listen to them and tell you what they say.
Yeah, but she didn't believe it.
With me.
But I bet you if you had a pendulum and you had have said, is it in that bag? And the pendulum said yes, she would have believed it.
Absolutely. Well, she was on the radio, so I couldn't. But You're 100% right. And, but having said that also, people can sometimes interpret the card based on the book meaning. And if you get a really old school intuitive reader, they probably have never even read the book. They will look at certain things on the card, they will interpret that information, they'll go with that, and it may not have anything to do with what the book says.
Exactly.
So
I'm a little bit like that. And on the nights, perhaps if I'm doing live readings or something on Facebook, if I'm tired or not tuned in, I'll go back to the original meaning. So the meaning, the message is still good, but mostly I'll just kind of see something on the card as well and go, oh, okay. That's it.
Yeah. And I've got a particular set of cards and I've read for them, 50, 60 times. And I'll still pull a particular card out and go, wow, I never saw that hummingbird before. But
I love it when that happens.
It's like, oh, and you go back and you look at the card and think, I thought I knew this card inside out and backwards. But then you read for somebody else and you will get that exact same card, but this time you won't see the hummingbird, you'll see the little bunny rabbit in the garden. And it all means something. And it's about trusting those messages. And I think that the Aquarian left of field wacky out there, stereotypical Aquarian energy, whether it's your rising, your sun, doesn't matter where it sits in your planet, in your chart, but if you've got your Aquarius in there, you're going to have that little bit of weirdo thinking pattern. And I love that, because all you need to do then, you're halfway there, because you won't knock anything out of your thought patterns, but you do need to understand it and not doubt it. So I think the age of Aquarius, I'm really, looking forward to when it gets fully ramped up. It's not ramped up yet.
No, and it's definitely the age of we, not me. And that has been very evident in, and that's the masculine, changing into the feminine, because the masculine's kind of me and the feminine's collaboration, right? So that's kind of been happening too. So from that point of view, I think there will be more... there will be more trust between people rather than just the old school kind of readings. And you and I have both moved on from a lot of that as well. It doesn't interest us anymore to have, I call them shallow readings, but they're not shallow for the person who's asking, but for me, I'm not solving a problem. And, and
we're giving them a fish, not teaching them how to fish.
And so and there's still a lot of readers out there who are doing those readings, and that's great, because there's the people who need them. But you and I have moved past that, and we really want to help people move past a block and living their best empowered life. And those people who are coming to us now who want that aren't necessarily interested in any of the divination tools, but using them's fun.
Rainy day material.
Exactly. Absolutely. And so what else have we got here? Hey, Hunter.
So that in no means will that mean that, in no way will that mean that I'll be throwing out all of my decks. I had the same deck for about 20 years and she was so soft, and I decided to start getting some other decks, but I really got into the artwork. So I think I've got about 8 or 9 decks, and I will never ever sell them. I will never get rid of them. No, they will be with me for life, whether I use them or not.
Yeah, I've probably got about 50 decks now, and I mean, I just like them. They're just fun to use. They're fun to use, but I don't need them. And I've got a beautiful pendulum, which I can't even think what the name of it is, but we're kind of spiritual friends. Like, seriously, as soon as I pull it out of its little container and I just hold it for a second, I go, okay, help me out here. It honestly just glows. I can just see it glowing, this white energy. I'm like, whoo, we've been together before. It's like some Egyptian thing. So I've got that, and I'd love to have a deck of like a set of runes just for the fun of it, because I love scrying into things. I use flowers, I've read tea leaves, all sorts of stuff, but it's really getting the image that corresponds with the message that's coming, that makes it easier to discern what the message is, but you can still do it without. But it's fun, isn't it? Just wondering what everyone else is. Yeah, no one else is really saying anything about it, but
so I have a Ouija board, and this is my 4th Ouija board. The other 3 mysteriously disappeared. One of them I bought while I was single and no one else was in the house, and I can't remember what day, but it was the day I bought it on the Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday morning it disappeared, never to be found again. And all 3 of them were absolutely identical, obviously different boards, but identical in everything about them. And then we got the one that we've got now, and it's so funny because when the first time we pulled it out, Spirit was talking to me, and I'm like, just shut up. I need you to do it down here. I don't need, get out of my mind and get in here. I need
play
you
the
to
game. Play the game. Play the game.
I know. And it was so, and they're like, but why? But you can hear. Why? And I'm like, the point, okay? This is scary. This is not scary. This is normal. This is scary. So it was really quite funny that so it was fun to play with the tool. And Terry heard me and he's saying, babe, what's going on? I'm like, they're fucking talking to me. I don't want them to talk to me here. I want them to do it down here. Come on.
It's like someone playing Monopoly with you and they're not playing by the rules.
Exactly right. Stop it. Did not pass go. Did not collect $200. But I always leave it on goodbye. And every now and then when I wipe down the altar, because I'm one of the bigger altars, I'll wipe it down and it'll be moved. And I'm like, you cheeky little mongrel. So you won't move it when I'm sitting there watching you. But they'll come right up and I'll smell them and feel them. And, then I'll turn and have a little look at them. Or if I'm doing it and I'm recording it for somebody. And, you'll see them on camera. You'll see their little faces and stuff in the background. But they'll talk to me. They refuse to. They're not. I'm not a circus animal. I had one of them say to me once. It's really quite funny. I do not perform tricks.
Oh. So let's go through some of the divination tools, just for people who don't perhaps know how many there are. You may know more than me. I think I'm a bit limited, but let's hope some information comes in. You can channel now.
The floodgates are open.
Come now, thank you. So we've got tarot cards, oracle. We have
good old-fashioned deck of cards, like your,
a deck of
like
deck of cards. There's runes, which are really interesting.
Yep. There's bones.
Pendulums.
The pendulum. There's bones.
Bones, yes.
Bones are very cool. You've got crystals. You can use crystals for that.
Crystals, yeah, absolutely.
The pendulum. There's a Ouija board.
What else?
There's a pendulum board that you can use as well, and it's kind of like a Ouija board, but you can either throw stones or bones or use pendulum over top of it. So it's just an added extra layer to your tool you're using.
Okay, cool.
There's good old-fashioned mediumship.
Mediumship, yeah. Is that a divination tool though?
Well, okay, psychometry.
Psychometry, that's Yep.
Flowering.
You can use flowers as a divination tool.
Exactly.
What else have we got here? Joe, you've got your own set of runes that you made. Awesome. Pendulum. Nikki's got some pendulum boards. Yeah.
I've got 2 sets of runes. I don't know how to use them.
But they're fun to have.
Well, one's lapis. Really pretty.
Oh, beautiful.
Stick. You can use good old-fashioned sticks.
What about the guys who go and divine water? They use the wire.
Oh my goodness, I had the funniest experience with that. And he was teaching me about that, they always follow, they'll do what you need them to do and point out, like
they're amazing. I've seen people use, they're just incredible.
And he said to me, so all I want you to do is hang on to them and think about where you parked your car, but don't say it out loud, just think about it. I parked my car over there and they went this way. And he said, so your car's over there? I said, no, it's not. He said, but you came in that driveway. I said, no, I did not. And he goes, and then a little while later he said, can you try it this way? And they gave a false reading. And he goes, well, that's not what's supposed to happen. And I said, well, actually it is, because you've attuned them to your frequency and I'm vibrating on my frequency, and my vibration is much, much higher than yours. So it's not going to understand the language that I'm speaking. he never spoke to me again. I thought, well, I'm sorry, but that's why and the reading's exactly the same. If you go to a reader and they're not getting an accurate read on you, your vibrations could be your Spanish and their English, or it could be complete opposite, and you're just not able to understand the frequency, or they can't tap into your frequency. So it happens.
It does happen. Yeah, that happened to me on Saturday. I had to finish the reading before it started. People don't like it, you know.
Yeah, but you're honest, Trish. And you know what? I would rather sit with someone. I sat with a lady in South Australia, and she pulled out the decision card. And she said, oh, you're cheating on your partner. I said, what? That's a decision card. How it's a judgment card. I said, how did you get cheating? Just take me through this process. Well, you've got to choose between two. And I said, yeah, between living here and living in New South Wales, you dumbass. It's got nothing to do with the boy.
Definitely not tuned in.
Not tuned in. So she was projecting. I finished up reading for her. It was down at a beautiful crystal store down in Semaphore. But and then she had the audacity to ask me to pay for her for the reading.
Oh, it's funny. It's funny. Yeah. Well, you know, I did pull 2 rows of cards, and she didn't want to know anything that I told her. Anyway, it is what it is. But Nikki's got candle flame. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Is that like that's a magic divination, isn't it? Where you melt it down? Is that?
It can be like that if you're looking for answers. So the candle will melt down, keep it in your bedroom, for example, melt it down over 7 days, light it each night, and then look at what is left. So you're interpreting the message that's left, or the show. And also you can use a flame like a reverse pendulum. So if the flame leads to the left or gets higher, ask for a yes, no answer, that sort of stuff as well.
Interesting. Yeah. Did you know you can use your body as a pendulum too?
Well, people with perfect hearing can. People with deafness can't. They fall over.
Because of your balance?
Yeah, because you shut your eyes.
I do it with my eyes open. So, yeah, so you can lean yes or no and do it with your body as well.
Yeah.
And what about sigils? Do you think they're a divination tool or are they a manifesting tool? Is there a difference?
Well, this is interesting because witchcraft uses them for intent. So I would think intent would be manifestation.
Yes.
There's also used for protection as well.
Yeah, I love sigils. I use them for manifesting. Not so much as a divination tool.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't use them like that. If I was going to do something along those lines, probably automatic writing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So is that it? If we come to the end of our divination tools, is there anything else?
Feathers.
Feathers?
Yeah. But they're no different from flowers and roses and that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah. So really it's the
for astrology, numerology, because you're using that to tap in as well.
They're kind of divination tools, aren't they? Yeah. So I think a lot of the structural ones, you know, like numerology, astrology, I'm going to say mediumship, but it's on the edge. I think they will always be there because they're your structural information.
Yeah.
That then helps decipher more about you, so that you can change things. So I think they're just kind of nice basic building blocks, aren't they, to who you are?
They provide the blueprint. So in astrology, like old school astrology and fundamental astrology, they can predict all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But you do need to get a predictive astrologist, and not many people do that anymore.
Yeah. But, you know, people have their own experiences as well and their own identity that's created in their first few years of life. So that's got to be factored into that as well.
So that's the first 7 degrees of your natal chart. It's the first 7 years of your narrative. The first 90 degrees, the first 90 years of your life. And then obviously your planets move around. So based on how your experience or how you tackle each of those areas will be how your life sort of pans out. So it's really quite interesting. I did a study a little while ago, and I found that when the North Node came almost right back to where it needed to be, a lot of people committed suicide. So there was about 4 people that I did extensive research on, and a certain placement in their chart where the North Node came right back and was sitting right on top of the original North Node, which kind of says the contract's done now, guys, see you later. So it was a really interesting study that I did.
Yeah. Do you think, you know, if, and I understand it. I think it's great to know all that knowledge. There still has to be that human life experience that comes into everything as well. So,
well, your chart will move irrespective of whether you do or not.
Oh, your chart will move. I know. I understand that, but you know, it hasn't got
education.
Yeah, but you know, anyway, that's a topic for another day. What else have we got here? Crystals, yep. Tea leaves, there we go.
Oh,
Thank
and coffee.
you, Kerry. And coffee, yes, we forgot those ones. And palmistry.
Oh,
yeah,
they're interesting.
Yeah.
Taken a photograph of your palm and then looked at it 10 months later or 12 months later, and your lines actually change.
Yeah. Palmistry, I think, would be like a foundational one, like numerology and astrology.
Yeah. Palmistry always has interested me, but I don't hold much stock in it.
Yeah.
Only because I haven't actually ever had an accurate reading from a palmist.
Yeah, I know a couple of really accurate, really fantastic palmistry people. So
hook me up, lady.
Yeah. So, well, crystal ball, of course, Kerry. How could we forget the crystal ball, Johnita? What?
I've got 2 of them.
What type of spirituality people are we? We forgot the crystal ball, right? So I think that's it. We've covered all of the tools. So they all have a place. They're all fun. They're all interesting. They all work.
Yeah, they all add that extra little bit of confidence to your reading, you know, especially if you find something that you can read for yourself.
So, and you know, people are looking for different, and you know as well as I do, you go into an expo these days, the one with the, you know, the kind of wackiest, weirdest thing that people haven't seen are getting the interest from people, right? Because it's like, oh, I haven't had that done before, haven't had that. Oh, there's other people who do drawings and wax readings, all sorts of interesting stuff. But in this Aquarian age, I really feel we're all just heading to that point in our intuition where we trust ourselves, and so a lot of the answers we're just going to get from ourselves now rather than having to seek it out. But it's always good to have somebody else to seek it out with, because we are our own worst teachers.
And sometimes we want the outcome to be a certain thing, and that may not necessarily be the right outcome, but it's the one that we want. So we kind of read everything in the manner that would give us what we want to hear.
That's it. It's like, I'll just grab this deck I've got near here. I've got like 20 decks on the table. It's like when you're going through your cards and you're like, oh, okay, give me a message for the day, Spirit, and you go, yeah, no.
Yeah.
give me another one. Oh, yeah, no. So sometimes you need to go see somebody else and really get the truth of things.
Yeah. Or I told you I want to marry him, and the answer is no.
That's right. That's right. I got a beautiful message from someone I read for last month, and she's like, oh, thank you so much for the reading. It came true. I've met him. You told me I'd meet some in October, and I did. And I'm like, oh, it's exciting. I was so excited for her. And then I'm like, where's my guy? Spirit, what's happening? I'm delivering to everybody else. Where's my guy? What else have we got here? Tarot, Oracle, Candle.
What about those beautiful sticks that you were using in Canberra when we first met?
Oh, yeah. Got them.
They were amazing. They've got little gems on them and little things on them, and they're like paddle pop sticks. They're amazing.
These are my sticks?
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Really nice. So, yeah, they're like cards, but in stick form. Yeah. Start using them again. It's just the trouble is that no one can buy them. So you start using them, people want to buy them, and they just don't exist. But anyway, you never know. I know somebody who imports from Bali now. I might have to just see what I can do about those sticks because they're fantastic.
Oh, very accurate.
What else have we got here? Tea and candle wax. Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. So everybody watching has used some of these tools, which is awesome. So
yeah, there's so many.
yeah.
Lots of things to do.
So do you think in like this Aquarian age is going for a little while and we're just revving up? So do you predict that like perhaps in a couple of years, or even like when my children have got their own children, that it's really going to be a lot more self-trust and being in the flow of what your own inner voice is saying, and really trusting that and having that wholeness of spirit and human, and being in that flow and not needing as many external kind of influences.
Yeah. Look, I think it's logical that it's going that direction, because in the last 5 months alone, we've learned that we need to question our government, our health officials, everything that's on the media, the Simpsons. We've had to question a lot of that, and there's been a lot of mistrust based around everything that we've all been going through on a global scale. So I think that we're going to rely more on ourselves and find out whether this feels right for us. Is this something that we think is the truth? Is this our truth? Because, my truth is going to be different from other people's truth, but it's what's working for us. And I think the last 5 months, in particular 2020, which is the Master Builder, we've got an opportunity to rebuild the things that we want in our lives. And I think that the more we listen to what our bodies, our barometer of our souls are telling us, I think that that's going to really sway us into a direction, whether we consciously or unconsciously are aware. But I think we're going to actually start trusting ourselves more, because the people that historically we have been conditioned to trust have really let us down in lots of different ways. So I think it's inevitable.
That's it, but that's evolution as well, and it's all working out perfectly. And this is the time we all agreed to be born into to help this evolution. And I think it's wonderful that so many spiritual people now are kind of rising up and trusting themselves more, and having fun with the divination tools, but not having them as the crutch to what they do.
Yeah, not the be all end all. Yeah,
that's it, and I think that's great. So I hope everyone found that interesting. You might have heard a few tools that you didn't know about that you might go and seek out now.
Check them out. Trish has got a deck of cards for the Life Alignment Oracle, and they're pretty clever too. So if you're after a new set of Oracle cards, Life Alignment, they are eerily accurate.
Oh, thanks, honey. I've got my new stock arriving tomorrow.
Yay! All right, guys, that will do us for this evening. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching us and being part of our live episode on Facebook.
Yes, and thank you to all our subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so on Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music.
We are going to finish up for the year for this series only on the 28th. The 28th, we've got a couple more episodes, and then the 28th, we're doing a dress up and a Q&A. So get your questions happening soon, people.
There will be spiders and dresses. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
All this scary stuff. I'll be going full-fledged chick. Nothing is scarier.
Well, that'll be scarier than my spiders.
Thank you, Trish. That's what my confidence needs.
Now you're going to have to stand up and give us a
bit of a twirl.
A bit of a twirl. Yeah, exactly. Well, I get to wear my wig again. I'm super excited.
Oh, are you going to go zombie nurse?
I'm not sure. I'm thinking maybe I'll just have the wig with some spiders in it. I don't know. I don't play dress ups very well. I'm not
I
much
just wear my
fun, am
normal
I?
clothes.
I better Google it and make an effort. I'm not much fun.
If I have to go full-fledged chick, you have to make an effort.
Oh, all right. I'll make an effort. So, yeah. So grab your copy of Holistic Bliss magazine, our amazing sponsor. You can grab it at holisticbliss.com. It's all about finance and money this month. There's some amazing articles. And on the website, you can also see Johnita's astroscopes for the month, which are awesome. I read mine today. You told me to go to the beach, so I'll be doing a little bit of that, which will be great.
Cool. Thank you, Spirit.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in. We'll see you again next week. Bye.